Once upon a time, three boys from three different worlds were about to gather in a capital city in pursuit of their dreams. They all had a common end in their clear minds, but had way different sets of means. They all wanted to succeed in life, nevertheless. Tom, Dick, Harry, I thought would be an appropriate moniker for them, as they had arrived as noobs, or shall I say, persons of no note. You shall all relate to the interesting facts that I am going to present in this revealing anecdote, said Mikey the turtle. And he continued, You see, they all aspired to crack one coveted exam, which they thought would be their only ticket to shine. But their destiny wasn't meant to follow the stale, standard, or connect the dots storyline. There was a little catch in there. What catch? Asked Charlie, curiously. You see, Tom happened to be a doctor by profession, so naturally the most confident amongst the lot. And Dick was an engineer by vocation, so he also wanted to try his luck when the iron was still hot. Now left is our lowly Harry, who happens to graduate with just the bare minimum marks. But this high-profile exam happened to offer him a chance to mend some badly broken hearts, especially one of his own. How's that now? Charlie interrupted again. You please wait, Charlie, and you will see, Mikey retorted in a complaining tone. Well, they all happened to pick out the same coaching facility, but at different dates of the week. They ultimately joined other newbies in the classroom, whose fervor to compete was also at its peak. Classes started as usual, and the teachers started throwing some usually unplayable curveballs. And that trying moment, they would realize they were meant to face a common pitfall. How's that? Charlie interrupted again. You yourself please tell us how, Mikey said in an abrasive tone. You better learn to listen first if you don't want me to lose my flow. Sorry for cutting in. Please do continue, Mikey. And Mikey continued. Well, there's this beautiful, beautiful girl who just in time made the landfall. And upon the showstopper converged the three suitors' 6 eyeballs. The listeners sighed faintly. Then what happened? Impatient Charlie just couldn't resist. Then the girl secured a chair lying in an unassailable position, making it difficult to locate her, let alone her face. And in an effort to get one proper glimpse of her, the eyes of the three suitors collided and coalesced, he said. Wow, that must have been awkward, shouted keen-eyed. Yes, indeed, nodded slow Mikey and continued. That awkward moment was easily saved by some coy grins, but something else was found out of their common interest. They never knew that a selfless friendship would blossom at that dazzling stunner's behest. And soon after the class was over, they struck up an acquaintance with each other in a fairly jolly mood. And an interesting chapter thereby got added about what eventually ensued: a lasting ludic friendship. But there was this caveat. What caveat? Asked keen-eyed. The exam, he exclaimed. It was looming overhead, and a sense of urgency infested everyone around to get a shot of a lifetime. The turbulent atmosphere in the late summers of that year was again the witness of a race against time. But our Harry was experiencing that urgency for the very first time. You see, the overconfidence of Tom about his success was contagious. So, Dick also couldn't resist from overplaying his hand. Our underprepared Harry had no choice but to pretend to be as ambitious as his band, so to eventually beat the band. But in his heart, Harry knew that he stood no chance against the big shots of the lot, and he started feeling guilty about making his new friends think of him what he was not. Oh, poor Harry was trying so hard to earn their friendship. Charlie responded, his tone laced with emotion. Yes, he was, acknowledged Slow Mikey without commotion. Then what happened? Asked Keen Eyed. Then the D Day happened, and all without exception got ready to perform the otherwise loathsome chore. All the three friends sat for the grand test, which none of them had ever attempted before. Interestingly, it was an exam where, save for quarter of a percent, all sit only to lose it. Shockingly so, the one to pass the preliminary stage was the one who was supposedly the most unfit to do it. Tom and Dick were disappointed in themselves after losing, but they took pride in Harry's maiden exploits. His achievement boosted his confidence in general, but personally, it filled a greater void. What void? Asked Charlie keenly. Besting the best by a mile, Harry was all hearts by his first success worthwhile. Even though the battle was still half won, he succeeded at regaining his confidence and style. Wow. Did he go all the way? Asked Keen Eyed, all the more impatiently. Well, it was down to a turn of fate, I would say, when his fortune forgot to smile. You see, all three were back to square one in a matter of days when Harry failed to chart alone his last mile. Mikey explained with a heavy tone of voice. What happened next? Asked both the listeners, demanding Slow Mikey to pick up the pace. Next, without realizing they were all caught up amid a vicious cycle of sorts and they kept on losing their respective trials, battles, or fights. It all boiled down to a well drawn conclusion that they were never in the right place at the right time or with the people who were right. Then what happened? Asked Charlie. Did they fail in life? His concern now shows a hint of nervousness. No, no, they did not, exclaimed Mikey and said further. Tom went back to where he came from. And similarly, Dick had his options in reserve. Both of them were happy and doing well with what they truly deserved. What about Harry? Asked Keenan and Charlie in one voice. Well, by virtue of his burned down bridges, you see, the situation of Harry was worse than the worst. After all his failed attempts in the end, he was left with nothing but a pile of unused, yet worthy words. So he kept on working day and night, and somehow kept alive a zeal of a fearless fighter. As destiny would have it, our Harry would end up becoming, in the end, a prolific and profound writer, a truly beloved writer. Their union was serendipitous, don't you think? For from different corners of the country, they all had hailed. Their respective fates had gotten intertwined in a way, for they were meant to drown together, if not together sail. Yet individually, they all evolved, endured, and prevailed.